So this is my video about me building a home NAS, which is a network attached storage. I had the old motherboard lying around and I figured, what the hell, I'm gonna build it. It was a lot harder than I thought. So this is a little preview intro before the actual video. Things start well, then things go downhill very fast. Just all over the place. I'll cover what happened in retrospect eventually near the end of the video, so if you make it that far, thank you. What's going on, YouTube? mozidesigner here, doing another PC build. Got some boxes that showed up over the last few days, and I'm going to be building a home NAS using my old motherboard, which is inside the Prime X299A box. Got a case and some other cool pieces, so let's get to unboxing and building this new NAS rig. So the first box we're gonna unbox is a Cooler Master CMP350 case. It was an inexpensive case as a built-in power supply, and should get the job done to build the NAS. So let's see what we got. We'll slide this bad boy out. Come on. There we go. Get this stuff off. There we go, got it unwrapped. It's a very simple black box, mid-tower ATX. No fancy glass panels or anything, but it did say it comes with a blue LED, so not RGB, but we got B. Good enough. Relatively small package. So let's see what's in this one for our new build. Alright. We have some thermal paste cleaner, to get the old shit off the old motherboard and heatsink. Thermal pad, graphite thermal pad. It's supposed to be easier to apply than thermal paste. I've never had a problem with thermal paste, but let's try this out. And we got some extra motherboard standoff screws if I need it. Anything else? Nope. That's it. Next up is this really small box from Newegg. See what's in here. Alright. Got an SSD mounting rack, which I'm going to be used to installing FreeNAS. So this the I guess OS or whatever is going to go on here and keep the NAS drives clean of anything else besides my files. Got a fractal design case fan, this will be on the side, extra cooling. And I picked up some extra SATA cables if I needed them. Another Newegg box. Pretty much I bought most of my parts from Newegg except for a few things from Amazon. So let's see what's in this one. In this box, we have a shaving blade. Some stupid advertisement. We got Cook Up, another advertisement. Not what I ordered. What I ordered was a video card. It's a cheapo 1 GB video card. It was like 80 bucks because my motherboard does not have onboard display, so I need a display adapter to hook up the NAS for the initial setup. Next box, we have another cooking coupon. So that should work. We got our NAS hard drives. We got a second one here. A total of 8 terabytes for the NAS. There we go. Total of 8 terabytes. Should be more than enough. Last bit of the parts is the old motherboard, which I have in this box here, and some old parts. Got the heatsink. Got the heatsink fan. Some papers, which probably don't need. Just get them out of here anyways. It's the back plate. And here's the old motherboard. Nice and set inside the static bag, so it shouldn't be a problem. So let's get to building, and just as a caveat, I don't know if this is sponsored or anything, I'm just building this shit on my own. Not that cool enough to be sponsored. Oh well. Still having fun. Still going to show you the build, and hopefully we get this thing up and running soon. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean off the old thermal paste from the CPU and the heatsink. So I got my cleaner here, and I'm gonna get this nice and spiffy. So I got the CPU nice and clean, and I got the heatsink nice and clean as well. The next step is to add in the thermal pad, see how this thing works. So I got the thermal graphite pad on the CPU. Now I'm gonna put this heatsink back on and get to wiring this guy, and it should be all good. So I hit a bit of a snag in the heatsink build, as I was missing the screws of the back plate, but I was able to find them, and I rebuilt the back plate and got the screw risers set up, and now the heatsink should fit. Finally, got the heatsink back on. Took a lot longer than I needed to, but luckily I found the screws and was able to use a pair of pliers to get them off the get the mounts off the screws and put the mounting plate back on. It's a pain in the ass, but it's done. Now I have to reseat the RAM and keep moving. And the RAM is back on. It's very simple. Took a few seconds, and I think now I'm going to open up the case and see what we can do with putting the motherboard in. So this is what the case looks like on the inside. Got the power supply, cables. Got the front end cables here, and USB cables here, and a bag of screws. So let's get to work and wire this bad boy up. For some odd reason, this side panel is a bitch to take off. It's not moving. Just trying to figure out a solution to get this thing off without breaking it. Well, with a little extra force and a screwdriver, I got it off. Finally. So let's install the standoffs in the back, and then we'll flip it and we'll put the motherboard on. For a quick second, I thought the motherboard was not going to fit and the heatsink was going to bonk against the power supply, but I got it in there. So let's hold it down with some screws. Got very lucky. Some hiccups along the build, but trucking along. Very glad it fits, because I would have been very pissed off if it didn't. So everything's nice and secure. I put my SATA cables in now because this is not a very modular case. It would be a pain in the ass to do later. So got this cable set up, and now we're gonna all the wiring in. Actually, before I do all the wiring, I need to put the video card in so I know where my spacing is for my wires, and then I can hit up all the electrical. So I forgot one step to put in the video card, so let me go do that. So most of the wiring is done. I'm going to add in the hard drives, then connect the SATA power to those bad boys over there. So I made a mistake, I guess. This fan does not fit this socket. It's too small. Even though the case said an 80mm fan would fit, it doesn't fit at all. These other old fans I have are way too big. I'd have to drill through the case, which I don't want to do. So I guess I'm going to forget the side fan for now. Maybe I'll buy another one later. But for now, I'm going to show you the rig, or the NAS rig. It's pretty much wired up. Not the best wiring in the world. But I'm going to clean it up with some cable ties and power it up and see if it boots. Yes, it got to the boot menu. I did it. I built it. no issues. So now I need to get my USB stick and make sure to boot from USB and install FreeNAS. So let's do that. Looking nice. I guess that's the blue LED, but it works. Hurrah! Always a good moment when it works in the first try. Always a good moment. So I booted to BIOS, and I'm going to change the drive option so it loads from USB. And once it does that, it should run FreeNAS automatically. Running nice and smooth. Hasn't shut down from overheating, nothing. Ghetto setup right now, but just use a TV for now because I don't need a monitor for the NAS. Just for the initial setup, so I just got the monitor, the box, and an old keyboard. So everything is working fine, except the SSD that I'm going to install FreeNAS onto is not showing up in the BIOS. I see the two NAS drives, 4 terabytes. I'm not seeing this guy over here. So I'm going to take a look at the wiring and see if I can get it to show up. If not, I have another SSD that I can try. So the other SSD that I found, or I had lying around, works. It should be loading into Windows. It's at the BIOS, loading operating system, launch startup repair, recommended start Windows normally. Let's do startup, let's do Windows normally. So I guess that SSD was bad, it wasn't working properly, but this one is working, but it has Windows on it, so I'm not sure if FreeNAS and Windows work nicely with each other or not, but at least the drive is functional, and things are stable, nothing's exploded or beeping or sparks coming out. So it's all good. So I'm gonna wait for this to go through and see what happens. So the good news is the other SSD, after being formatted, shows up, so I have 3 drive. But the bad news is this USB doesn't work. It doesn't work on this computer, it doesn't work on the other computer. And this SSD has FreeNAS on it, but for some reason it's corrupted. So I'll have to get another USB stick and try that again. But for the most part, things are stable, things are running, so not bad. So I bought another USB stick, mounted FreeNAS on it, and it worked. So I guess that USB drive was dead, or I didn't do it right. So one step at a time, this build is happening. And here we are at the install screen for FreeNAS. Excellent. Well, for some reason I installed FreeNAS, it said to restart the system, and now it's just stuck here. It's not doing anything. I am very confused. So I'm going to go back to my PC, plug this guy in, format it, try again, get FreeNAS off of here, and reinstall a clean FreeNAS on it. Man, it's just a pain in the ass. So using the disk manager, I was able to format this. Hopefully I formatted it correctly. There's nothing on here. I'm gonna give it one more shot. I'm getting very frustrated here. It shouldn't be this hard. Set up a NAS. So, I don't know, I'm taking my bitch ass to Best Buy to get a CD drive, maybe another hard drive, some blank CDs, try the FreeNAS via CD setup. I was so fucking close, I don't know what I did. But my bitch ass is here to buy CD drive because I don't have a CD drive. See how that works. I haven't been in a Best Buy in years. I used to work at a Best Buy a long time ago, back in my college days, but let's see what they got. Help me out here. So back in the car, it started raining. This project's turning into an adventure. So what did I get? I got some blank CDOWs because the FreeNAS guys like burn it to a CD, blah 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 blah. Alright, try that bullshit. Got an extra hard drive because that SSD bullshit is driving me insane. The blue one doesn't get recognized, and the PNY one, I think, is borked. And got an external CD DVD drive, USB to read. So it cost me another $100, and between the parts I've ordered from Newegg and Amazon, I could have bought a Synology, but that's really bitch ass to just buy a Synology box. Come on, I gotta build my own thing. So I'm gonna head back to the house and let's see if I can get this bitch running. It's nice and dreary out there. Time to head back to the house. So, burning the FreeNAS ISO. While that's happening, I'm gonna install this Western Digital drive to the NAS tower. Alright, so I got the ISO mounted on a CD this time. Got this external CD drive, and let's see what happens. Finally back to the FreeNAS installer, thank God. So, as always, something goes wrong, there's some bullshit error. So the CD drive didn't work. Back to the bloody USB, but with the new blue drive in there. So let's see what happens. So I gave up on FreeNAS. Frustrating as fuck. So I'm trying this other thing called Sigma NAS. So far so good. Let's see where this gets me. If not, the struggle bus moves on. I spent about an hour trying to nuke this bloody USB stick. It was write protected. I made an F drive, H drive, I drive. I don't know what the hell's wrong with this thing, but I finally got it back to F drive. Put Sigma NAS on it. I'm gonna try Sigma NAS from a USB drive. I'm losing hope here, guys. Please send help. Here we are. Another ISO. I'm tired. This is a Mahi server or something. Let's see how it works. After many struggles, it's finally installing properly. Let's see if I get to an IP address. Some gibberish on the screen, but let's just let it do its thing. Yep, getting that this is going to take a long time thing that I saw on YouTube videos. So I think I'm doing this correct finally. So what did I do? Let's attempt install. Between FreeNAS 11, Sigma NAS, a Mahi server, and then FreeNAS again, like struggle bus. Big time. But I think I finally got it. Still writing those bytes, or data, whatever it is, but it's working. I never got this far last time. So progress. So the NAS is finally done. It works. I can connect to it on my desktop. I can transfer files. The damage is done. We have dead SSD, dead USB sticks, a bunch of ISOs that never worked, boxes, trash, and the final results. The little NAS box that could. So, if you made it to the end of the video and saw my struggles, thank you. And be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time in the next video. Cheers.